The Owen James Report.
Good evening. This is the Owen James Report. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says any proposal to impose tariffs on imports from CARICOM would require extensive consultations within CARICOM and indeed would be a breach of the Treaty of Chaguaramas, which heralded CARICOM in 1972. Dr. Phillips was answering my question at a Jamaica House post-budget conference today. Now, that question was on the feasibility of a proposal from the private sector working group that since Jamaica was foregoing $9.4 billion in import duties from the regional body, taxing such imports could give the government fiscal space in tax reform and would also help to counteract Jamaica's huge trade imbalance with CARICOM.
Some of the proposals would represent breaches of the Treaty of Chaguaramas. And we don't propose as an administration to undertake either reckless, precipitous, or unilateral action to abrogate the Treaty of Chaguaramas. So at the very minimum, what it would require is more careful study, and in fact would be a lengthier process than anything envisaged in the comments by the private sector working group.
Speaking at today's press conference, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller, who occupies a senior position within CARICOM, emphasized that the Jamaican government valued the regional trade bloc.
I am not looking at leaving CARICOM. What I'm looking at is how Jamaica can assist to reposition CARICOM and to strengthen CARICOM, because that is critical and important for us to keep the region strong.
In related news, Jamaica's trade imbalance with CARICOM continues, though the island's spending on imports from the regional bloc has fallen. Jamaica earned $11 million from exports to CARICOM, but spent $142 million on imports from the region in the first 2 months of this year. And Jamaica's latest trade figures from the Statistical Institute indicate that during the period, spending on imports from CARICOM fell by over 35% to $142.5 million when compared to the corresponding period last year. Statin says lower imports of mineral fuels triggered this decrease. Spending on mineral fuels, mainly from Trinidad and Tobago, fell by nearly $82 million during the review period. News on the market now: a nearly 4% loss by blue chip Scotiabank, as well as declines in Carreras and Grace Kennedy, helped to trigger losses in the Jamaican stock market indices today. The main JC index fell by 427 points, or nearly 0.5%. 23 stocks traded, with 7 advancing, 10 declining, and 6 holding firm. Winners included Gleaner, Kingston Wharves, NCB, Sagicor Life Jamaica, and Seprod. The losers included Berger Capital and Credit, Carreras, DNG, Grace Kennedy, Honeybun, Lasco Distributors, and Scotia Group. Now finally, on the foreign exchange market, both the benchmark American dollar as well as the British pound strengthened against the Jamaican dollar, whilst the Canadian dollar weakened. The greenback gained 14 Jamaican cents to close at an average selling rate of $88.46, whilst the British pound gained $1.03 Jamaican to close at $137.03. However, the Canadian dollar declined by 18 Jamaican cents, closing at $85.96. That's the Owen James Report. Good evening.
The Owen James Report was